do have to say, like, we were supposed to, in full transparency, we were going to record this yesterday. You were not feeling well. And no matter what you did and how you tried, we said, hey, this is not that big of a deal. It is far more important that you feel better. Yeah. How about you rest today and we'll deal with that tomorrow? And so I tinkered and did other things and like everything was fine.
We're just a day late.
We're just a day late, but like for our own self-imposed timeline that isn't real. Like, I mean, yes, we're trying to be timely and get stuff done on a reliable schedule, but like it could wait. It doesn't have to happen today. But I think so often we do that to ourselves where it's like, we either never are getting to it and we just continuously put stuff off. I am horrible at this. I will put everything off to the last minute, create a disaster for myself, and then like slam through it all. I'm horrible at it.
If I did that, inevitably that deadline would come and I would be out the day the deadline came. Like I would be so ill the day the deadline came that would be horrific for me to stack it all up like that. I have to do it completely different. Yeah. So it's really just even interesting between us.
Yeah. We're like literally the two ends of the spectrum where you get everything done ahead of time and try to fit it all in.
Yes.
And I'm fitting lots of things in, but I will totally create some sort of chaos at my deadline.
Yeah.
For whatever reason that I don't know. But I think we kind of get this idea that like, and I think social media, you know, it's another thing. Like, I don't know. I feel bad because I think we throw out social media as the scapegoat to so many things. But at the same time, because before it was social media, it was movies or TV or, you know, I mean, it's still something, but like we allow.
That's just all comparison.
But that comparison, I feel like, is so much now.
Yes.
That like you see everybody else. I'm sure there's somebody watching who goes, oh, Heidi always has it together. Heidi does not always have it together. I mean, you've said stuff. We first became friends from you watching the channel. And you're like, oh, don't you always have? I'm like, I don't always have that. Are you crazy? Like, I try my best. I do try. I do have seasons where things aren't going so hot and I stop trying, right? Like I have things, but like nobody's getting it done perfectly. And it's unrealistic to think that we're going to be able to fit it all in every single day.
I think using social media as a scapegoat is absolutely what we all do, because it's not social media. It's just us comparing ourselves to something else.
Right.
And we can compare ourselves to anything.
It just happens to be that's a easy comparison.
Because it's in our homes a lot now. I bet in the 50s and 60s, the women compared themselves to their next door neighbor that they got together and
keeping up with the Joneses, right?
Saw that regularly.
Yeah.
Yes. So you got together and you saw somebody regularly, and that meant that you could compare yourself to them in that fashion. But then we switched from being in person to online, and now we're comparing ourselves to people online consistently.
Yeah.
Even though we don't ever have the whole picture, we have the assumptions that we've made from what we perceive.
Yeah.
And no matter what, you cannot perceive everything.
You can't.
It's not realistic. Even though I have been in the home many times before living here, I still could watch your videos and only see it as a romanticized version of your day. It wasn't. Like, it is what happens on the daily basis. You're not showing tiffs between children or the dogs wrestling or the, right? But like, it's real. It's always the grass is greener.
Yeah.
It's no matter what, I think that we're going to look at something and go, they have it so much better than me. It's just a mindset. But I think with social media, we see it more because we allow ourselves to see it more.
Yeah.
But it's still just all a comparison, and it's weird when we start comparing ourselves to people and things. And yeah, there's nothing that has to be done in my day at a certain time. I mean, the cats are going to yell at me if I haven't fed them exactly at 7 o'clock. But outside of that,
we'll all be okay.
They yell for 5 minutes at me. Okay, they're not dead. Yeah. It's okay. We're good.
The cats will survive, I promise, even if they eat 5 minutes later.
Trust me, they're like large cats. They can survive.
They don't think they can survive, but they could. No, but I think that really is such a great, great piece and a great point to it. And I think that the more that we realize it is unrealistic to think that we could get it all fit into every single day. Yes. But there's also things that we can do. I do truly believe that life is as lovely as we choose to see it.
Yes.
If I choose to always look at it and see a negative, then life is going to feel really negative. I could be in a difficult situation, but always looking that kind of like Pollyanna attitude for it. And the negative situation doesn't feel as awful when you're always seeing the brighter side of it. So are there things that we can do that help us to achieve more, to feel more put together, even if we're not just physically being like, it's not all about just being productive from sun up to sundown, but like doing the things that have the big impact. Like we can do that. And so for you all, if that's an area where you're like, man, you're right. Sometimes I just feel like I need to fit everything in, or I just can't fit everything in, or I'm trying to fit everything in and it's just like I'm getting run ragged. We will have another video coming out this week where I figured it would be a good time to just share some tips and tricks and things that we've been implementing here in the home. And Sabrina and I have both done these different things to try to help us in these seasons where we're trying to put those pieces together. So be sure to subscribe and turn on your bell notifications, and we will have that video coming out this week, because I think sometimes it is helpful to see a realistic view of like, okay, I know this is an area that needs some work. I know getting it all done is unrealistic. So like, real talk with real people, like what are some things that I can do here to at least help in that process? Because we've been doing a lot of like home life reset stuff after the big move of you guys moving cross country and getting here. And so these are the types of things we're working on. So if they can be a blessing to you, we'll share it. And hopefully that can help at least a little bit for even one other person out there, then it is absolutely all worth it.
This is my mom, is Heidi. She does videos.
I do. Now that Sabrina is here, real life, just like if you were here, this would happen.
Yep.
What crazy thing do you have to tell me about here on our new cool show?
Oh, that's not. I totally want ice cream for breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do this.
You can do it. Welcome, friends, to the Chatty Coffee Date.